what is your name?
My name is Kane Hodder, and Friday the 13th is my favorite day.
Number 2, what is your name?
My name is Kane Hodder, and Friday the 13th is my favorite day.
Number 3, what is your name?
My name is Kane Hodder. Friday the 13th is my favorite day.
Only one is the real Kane Hodder and has sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our panelists. Meshach Taylor, Paula Poundstone, actor Robert Hayes, and from the Cindy Margolis Show, Cindy Margolis. Here's the star of To Tell the Truth, John O'Hurley.
Hello there, and welcome to Tell the Truth. So you all like Friday the 13th. Actually, I'm a big fan of casual Fridays. Well, you'll learn more about me and other things like that, but it's time right now to play To Tell the Truth. All right. You know the way the game is played. All three of our scary men here claim to be the real Kane Hodder. Two are lying, and only one has signed a statement swearing to tell the truth. Your job is to find out who that is. So please, please, open your affidavits. Follow along with me as I read the sworn testimony of the real Kane Hodder. I, Kane Hodder, am the man behind the mask. For the last several years, I have put fear into the hearts of millions as the lovable Jason from Friday the 13th. As the current Jason, I have starred in parts 7, 8, and 9, and the only one to play him more than once. This horrifying experience has allowed me to be set on fire 3 times, shot over 300 times, electrocuted, and blown to pieces twice. The public's scary appreciation for this cult character keeps me busy with conventions, haunted houses, and fundraising events. So, if you're tingling for more terror, prepare because the 10th film is on the way. Signed, Kane Hodder. All right, panel and audience, all three of our gentlemen here claim to be the real scary guy, Jason from Friday the 13th. Which one is it? We'll start our questioning with Meshach Taylor.
Thank you, John. I'm scared. Number 1, when was the first movie made? What year?
1980.
Number 2, who starred in the first movie?
In what character?
As the female lead in the first movie. That's good enough.
Betsy Palmer.
Okay. Number 3, who directed the first movie?
Sean Cunningham.
Okay, number 3, what was Jason's first crime?
Well, he drowned. You could call it suicide, but he drowned in the lake.
Okay, number 2, you remember what Jason's first crime was?
Ooh, we will never know unless Paula Poundstone picks up that line of questioning.
Number 2, what was Jason's first crime?
Not really sure.
Let me just say this. Number 1, number 2, number 3. I don't like these films. Number 1, how old are you?
39 years old.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, how old are you?
45.
And number 3, how old are you?
33.
Okay, so you all three are old enough to know better to make this kind of film. Number 3, how do you audition for a film where you put a mask on and run around scaring people?
Well, it was more for the stunts than for the actual...
So there were people that were turned down for that role?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody said, oh, you know what, that mask isn't good on you when you run around and look scary. You get my point, number 3, don't you? Number 1, what kind of name is Kane Hodder?
Okay, on to Robert Hayes.
Number 1, what kind of name is Kane Hodder?
English in origin.
Number 2, what's a squib?
It's a small explosive device to simulate a bullet hit.
Number 3, how many times have you been squibbed? I mean, the most at one time.
Well, in number 9, it was probably about 300 right at the start of the movie.
All right, Cindy, how do you?
Hey, I don't know. I feel bad. I'm probably the only one in here who hasn't seen any of these Friday 13th movies.
I haven't
know,
seen any of
me. Oh, you haven't?
I haven't seen any of them.
Okay,
ask him
so
about
I'll
songs
ask him. So number 2, is this the movie that wasn't Johnny Depp in one of them? Was that the Friday the 13th movies?
I don't believe so, no.
No. Okay, number 3 is the 10th one. I heard a rumor that Jason and then that Freddy Krueger were going to be in a movie together. Is that true?
I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
Okay, and number 3, have you ever killed anybody?
Literally or in the movies?
Number 1, have you ever killed anybody?
You know,
The bell has sounded, time is up, and time for our celebrity panel to lock in their votes. Without discussion, I might add. Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3? And I'll ask our studio audience here to cast their votes as well. And I'll remind you at home that we're going to pay our team of challengers $1,000 for every incorrect vote. If it's a clean sweep, they fool all of our celebrities and the majority of our audience, the jackpot will be $5,000. And we'll be right back and find out how everybody voted and who the real Kane Hodder, Jason from Friday the 13th, is right here on To Tell the Truth.
You have a story that can stump our panel? Go to uproar.com and learn how you can be on To Tell the Truth. Want to tell the truth? Go to uproar.com and find out how.
All right, welcome back to a great edition of To Tell the Truth. One of our challengers is the real Jason from Friday the 13th. Kane Hodder, yes, the wearer of this mask. The other two are lying. Meshack, we'll begin with you. For whom did you vote?
Thank you, John. Well, I tell you, if number 1 was chasing me with an axe, it'd scare the hell out of me. But number 2 as well. I tell you, just based on physicality, though, I think that if I were casting it, I would have to cast number 2. Yeah, number 2. I think it's number 2.
All right. All right. Paula?
well, I believe that it may have, and I may have to recuse myself because I bumped into number 1 in the library where he was reading Sense and Sensibility. I have him here with a stack of books, Pollyanna, Native Son, The Trial, Sense and Sensibility, that he reads during his break from filming.
So that he's you're suggesting that he is actually a well-rounded human being. It's not
Yes,
All right.
yes. It's only a little part of them that plays in the Friday the 13th movies.
All right, Robert, on to you.
There's a hard choice, but I just took a stab at it and made number 2.
All right. Cindy, on to you.
Okay, I don't know. 3 does. He looks really sweet. Like, I could take him home to my mom, so he really doesn't scare me. But again, 1 and 2 really does. But 2, I don't know, with the mask on, those beady eyes, he scares me. I'm going to go with 2.
Okay. How about the eyes? But we could be fooled. We'll find out if the audience thought that number 3 was also the guy you'd want to take home. Ah, they went. Oh, they went for number 2, and time now to find out which one of our challengers is actually Jason from Friday the 13th. Will the real Kane Hodder please stand up? Kane, have a seat. Have a seat. Come back to you in a minute. All right, number 1, who are you and what do you do?
Dave Powell, professional wrestler and executive doorman at a nightclub in Las Vegas.
And professional wrestler. All right. All right. Number 3. Now, they didn't believe that anyone with your face could be Jason from Friday the 13th. But who are you and what do you do?
My name's Rennie Shoptolane. I'm a professional hockey player for the Long Beach Ice Dogs.
That's the guy behind the mask. What position do you play?
I'm a defenseman.
A defenseman. See? There's not all sweetness behind that guy. Trust me. You don't want to... Kane, a couple of questions. I mean, it's obviously, this is one of the great cult roles in film history. But when you went in, tell us about auditioning for this. When you went in, they were...
I was suggested by the director to come in and do a screen test, and I brought another stunt guy with me and basically threw him around the room, threw tables around, and convinced everybody I had to play the part.
And how long will this franchise continue? Number 10 is in the works. Will this, is there any end in sight?
I hope not. We finished Jason X, which is the 10th installment, and I think it's going to be the best one we've ever done.
Well, they certainly make my toenails curl, and we'll have to send a special. We'll have to send a special advance copy over to Paula because I think she'll get a kick out of it.
In number 10, he takes up golf.
All right. Well, you only got a single incorrect vote. That is $1,000. We thank you very much for being with us.